by my calculations, I could be wrong because Glasgow didn't get a bonus point tonight. You go up a 9-point lead on them. So you win your next two, you are seen as the way Scarlet's home to Zebra. It makes that last leg at home to Glasgow redundant. That's probably not a bad thing. You wouldn't mind going into that last game already secured first place.
Yeah, like if you think this time last year, like we if I'm sitting in this press conference, it's in South Africa first week. Well, it's actually a little bit different because the rounds were a little bit different because it was still around 18 to after the European final. But we were in South Africa. We just beaten whatever it was 42-12 or something against the Lions. And yeah, like we were scrambling a bit, I think, at that point. So listen, when you battle your way through the season, it's making sure you try and keep a little bit of control over your own destiny is what we always talk about. So we have that now. But listen, it's just a game at a time. Let's worry about Scarlets for now. And we don't need to worry about anything else. It's not like we're looking around at other teams and permutations, just focus on ourselves, prepare well. So see, it's a late game tonight. We'll try and give guys a bit of extra time this week, just in terms of recovery wise, and then have a plan together and build for Scarlets, as I said. And that's all that really matters at the moment. And then we'll deal with the following week.
You're fighting on two fronts though, so you've got Northampton in a fortnight's time back here in the semi-final Champions Cup. I presume it's not necessary for you to have all the players who played last week or rested this week play next week. In other words, you'd be quite happy for, say, I don't know, Kieran, Josh, Hugo, to not play for the 2 weeks. They don't necessarily all have to play against Scarlets next week.
No, exactly. It's definitely case by case, yeah, because it's pretty intense, the two Champions Cup games, 2 games in 6 days. So again, it's just like how people come through, let's make some different calls. Obviously you see a lot of guys fronting out again today. So yeah, listen, we see. The main thing is like the group is really competitive, which is what we wanted all along. The periods during November and Six Nations and pre-season even before that, and the coaches have worked hard making sure that the guys are ready when the opportunity comes for them. So the South Africa tour again, it's an awkward time when you're doing it, but having come through it, it was an amazing couple of weeks for the group. Lots of really good stuff in the lead into that. And to see some of the players grow over those couple of weeks has been hugely valuable to the club, really. So, there's good competition, as I said there, and guys are really itching to play.
Given you had to use Archie and Max, and for James, you're looking at, say, Gerard Mangan, Alex Soroka, Scott Penny, James Cohan coming through 80 minutes and being a big win. I don't expect you to go on for long about it, but that's a good thing, isn't it?
That's great, yeah. We talked about it was a young pack of forwards going out there against a pretty experienced Ulster pack. So front row, I know they're all internationals now, but they're all very recent internationals, which is fantastic. But it's just they're still early in their development, so it's just making sure we keep pushing those guys along all the time. Gerard Mangan, it's fantastic. Calling lineouts today, it's a big step up at Derby game. So it's been a huge couple of months really for Dermot, which is great to see. So Joe is still pretty young as well in the second row with him, as we know, and then again reasonably young back row with Alex, Scott. Scott's probably the most experienced in terms of games with Leinster. He's been around a bit longer. Alex had a bit of his injury challenges as well, and then James, again, great young player as well, has had some injuries to deal with to overcome as well. But he was busy, really busy, because it's full on contacts. And the Ulster guys were flying into everything as well. So, and they kept playing to the very end. Listen, we know when these we were playing in a derby game in the pros, particularly at this stage of the season, the teams don't go away, you know what I mean? So Ulster kept coming. So listen, we were pleased the way, the guys stood up, because obviously that back row in particular, that you've asked the question, obviously they played the full 80 minutes, it was great. Max came into the second row. So, listen, lots to like about how they've gone, because it's still just making sure we develop these guys. And listen, derby game, Aviva, Ulster come to town, off the back of 2 weeks lead into the game, and they want to see where they find themselves in the league. They need to get a win, you know what I mean? So they're laying it all out there as well.
Yeah, how did you assess Kieran's form tonight?
Yeah, he's good, Kieran. Yeah, like it's been a bit stop-start for him, like, and that's a challenge, you know. So because obviously Kieran early in the season was starting games for us, the team was going well. Break for November, you know, at the back of November, then Sam is sort of in the driving seat at that stage, and you know, Sam hasn't really given it up. You see. So it's been a bit more frustrating because obviously Ross hasn't been in camp. Excuse me. He's been consistently with us, you know. So, and that's the bit of the challenge for guys that sometimes get stuck where they're in camp but they're not maybe playing as many minutes. So that can become a challenge. So anyway, listen, it was good. He's got through 80 minutes. He's 60 minutes at 10 today, and you know, he's 20 minutes at 15 when Sam comes on. So listen, it's really positive that he's back in the mix now, up and running again. Because listen, I thought he did some good stuff in South Africa as well. First week coming off the bench, obviously second week starting. This is a great win over there against the Sharks, fantastic. So yeah, listen, it's good. It's great competition. But I said, like, it took on a form, really, didn't it? Like outside of here. Like, isn't being fully truthful, isn't it? I think you can all see that. Where Sam comes off November in particular, and you know, he just hasn't given it up since. So he's gone well. But listen, the competition is great for us to have. So we're pleased with how three of them are going. Unfortunately, as we know, can't pick all three of them in any given weekend. So someone has to not get picked. But it's competitive all the way to the end.
Would you expect to have James Ryan Barrett back next week too?
Ryan, I would suggest yes. James, unlikely.
Okay, folks.
Someone else asked that question, did it?
Yeah.
That was a bit clear, isn't it?
A bit more clear for him than you were for me yesterday.
I told you, just information is coming live all the time.
Just a quick question. What do you think was the more turning point of the game? Was it the possession in the start of second half, or the defense at the start of second half for you to see the game?
It's every moment in the game, you see. So like there's the two teams at the start who are both fresh and they're both colliding, and it's like who's going to give up first, really. So obviously we get a couple of tries, Ulster hit back and score, and then there's a period just either side of half time, which, you know, makes it a 10 points to 10 game. You know, so we score in 38, 39 minutes, they lose a man to the bin, and then we score 2 or 3 minutes into the second half. So that's a very critical period probably there. And that means we have scoreboard separation, which is, it was 24-10, was it at that point? 24-10?
Yeah.
So 24-10. So you go from a 12-10 to 24-10, and Ulster start chasing the game. But there was a big defensive set then as well, because we obviously lose a man to the bin on 50 minutes, but we managed to hold Ulster out. So that's probably the critical period in the game there.
Could I ask one very quickly? James Cohan, just talk a little bit about 21 tackles tonight.
Yeah, he's a machine in terms of work rate. So, and as we touched on, you remember he got injured last year against then in Galway, exactly. Yeah, and he picked up 2 injuries at the same time. So he did his hamstring and he did a shoulder. So anyway, went for double surgery at that stage. So listen, that's the nature of the game. Sometimes young players coming through, but he was a great prospect coming through as a young player playing with the 20s. And listen, we're gradually getting to see more and more of him, and he works very hard, very serious about what he does. So yeah, he's all business there, definitely.
Sorry.
Yes, keep going. One more.
Okay, sorry, just a quick one on Arnie. He looks a bit uncomfortable on field. Is he going to be okay?
He's going to be okay. Yep.
Oh, cool.
Good. Thank you.